To drive his point across while preaching, he did a test zap into the air.
Wow.
That's when a student on stage with him for the illustration said, "That wouldn't even hurt me because I'm stronger than most." Out of nowhere, the youth pastor said, "Want to bet?" But before the kid had a chance to change his mind, he tased him right there on stage and the kid fell to the floor. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Youth Group Chronicles. If this is your first time listening to the podcast, this is where people send us true stories from youth ministry, and my guests blind react to the stories. Now, actually, can you guys just tell people, have you ever heard these stories before I tell it? Like, do I prep you on these stories? Because people have been like, they know. They know.
See, one thing about me is I'm terrible at like fake and laugh or like.
Yeah, who wants to manufacture
I'm not good at that.
A reaction?
Yeah. One that's whack. Like that takes the fun out of it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yo, I'm gonna tell you this story. That's whack. Two, I'm not good at stuff like that. Like you can't tell me something, be like, all right, no, like fake laugh. Mm-hmm. You're gonna know I'm faking. That's right. You will know I'm faking. So no, unfortunately, we don't get prepped beforehand.
And if you haven't caught on tonight in the studio, Pastor Cole Clark and Buddy Jenkins, thank you guys for being here. Yes, Speaking of stories, let's kick this off from a submission from Zachary.
All right, Zach.
He said, for a sermon illustration, my youth pastor pulled out a taser on stage. To drive his point across while preaching, he did a test zap into the air.
Wow.
That's when a student on stage with him for the illustration said, "That wouldn't even hurt me because I'm stronger than most." Out of nowhere, the youth pastor said, "Want to bet?" But before the kid had a chance to change his mind, he tased him right there on stage and the kid fell to the floor. We all gasped and the youth pastor said, "That's what sin feels like when you are serious about your faith." It ended with a parent calling the cops, but luckily the kid's mom said that the kid deserved it and didn't press charges.
I mean,
it ended wholesome.
Yeah, it seems like everyone learned a lesson.
Dang, that mom was
not him, kid on the ground, like
twitching,
foaming at the mouth. Yo,
pooped his pants.
I don't know what happened to the mom, but they must have settled outside of court. She went from full on like it's over for you. Said, hey, honestly, Johnny. Matter of fact, you want to tase him again?
The senior cut that check.
Facts. That senior pants.
The senior cut that check.
Now listen, we're well known in the community. I have a fire next week. Can we settle this outside?
Hey, listen.
Well, let's get it done.
This was a disciplinary lesson.
We're gonna learn from, and then that's what the pastors always say when they mess up. We're gonna learn and grow from this.
We're
gonna grow from this together. We're a family.
This is a story from Tyler. Tyler said, "I was looking for one of my fellow youth group interns around our church, but I couldn't find him anywhere. After searching the whole building, I realized that he must be on top of the roof, which was an area on top of our church that was railed off so we could all hang out there. When I got up there, I found him lying on the ground with his CO2 airsoft sniper rifle aimed toward a field next to the parking lot. When I asked him what was going on, he handed me a set of binoculars and said, 'Be my spotter.' I laid down, looked through the binoculars, and saw two teenagers making out in the field, laying down with a guy on top of the girl.
Oh, I about to told him.
Before I realized what was happening, he opened fired and shot this guy right in the butt. The guy screamed and then yelled while looking around to see who did it. We quickly got out of sight on the roof and waited quietly for them to leave. When we checked to see if they left, they were back to making out, but this time the girl was on top. But this didn't stop my friend. He shot again, and this time hit her on the side of the hip, causing her to scream at the top of her lungs. They both stood up, started yelling cuss words, and then ran off, and we never saw him again."
Wait, so wait.
Chris Kyle with the youth ministry. Freaking John Wick.
Wait, so were these people that were part of the youth group? Or
I'm pretty sure they were youth kids. Yeah, that's why he did it.
They said, "This is real purity patrol." They said, "This is real purity patrol."
Dang.
Yes.
Honestly, they got to start doing that. signing release forms before camp. And
Yeah.
it's like, and we have
You
a
get
fully
caught
armed with
crippling.
paintball or airsoft team.
Yeah.
And if they catch you outside of your trailer with another person of the opposite sex at
You're
any
getting
time
shot.
beyond 11 p.m.,
There is a chance.
you're getting shot. So wear protective eyewear if you want to do something crazy.
That's crazy. It's like
If you
you
lose an
get
eye,
shot
that's on you.
once,
Yeah.
and it's like, all right, let's get.
Maybe
back
he
to
thought he
that.
got stung.
He
or
was like,
something.
I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
You're like on a hornet's nest.
Was a
Okay.
stick.
Listen, they were
She was
probably
like,
waiting
it-
for that moment.
he was
for a
like,
long time. They
Oh,
were
he
so-
was so.
They
pumped.
were letting nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
That kid was out there every week.
There could have
just
been a real
scoping out.
bullet.
But how do you
Nothing
not-
nothing stopping it from this?
But how
notebook.
do you not, like, if you're in that position, how do you, I'm going to say I wouldn't, but how do you not just go, let it fly?
What do you mean?
Like, say you're there and you're supposed to be like the leader in the situation and you're seeing these kids make out and one of your youth kids look at you and they're like, should I take them out?
And then you're like, oh, so you're saying you're the spotter. And you're
and
like,
he's like, I'm mad
absolutely.
accurate. Just one shot. It'll teach him a good lesson that God's always watching.
God's always watching.
Come on.
So you're saying you would give the approval for
This
the shot?
bullet has
Yeah, me
God's
too.
speed. I'm not
this bullet
saying,
has God's
I'm not,
speed.
I would never say that, Sam.
So I'm not trying to-
What I'm saying
I'm not
is,
trying to self-incriminate.
what I'm saying is that I'm asking, would it be tempting?
Someone just said wear protection has a new meaning now.
Facts.
Dang.
Honestly.
Gotta wear your headgear out.
This is a story from Caleb. Caleb said, I took my youth group to a concert, and when we arrived, me and a 7th grade boy went to find the bathroom. On our way, I heard a loud siren blaring and saw a flashing white light. I turned around to see that this kid had literally pulled the fire alarm. Long story short, everyone had to vacate the venue and wait on the fire department to inspect the building. By the time they were done, it was really late, and they ended up canceling this entire concert, all because of a kid in my youth group. Canceling a concert is crazy.
One time I bled in the pool and no one could use the pool for the whole day.
What the frick?
Similar experience.
That's what not what. Not,
Why
that's
were you
like-
bleeding? Is my
Yeah.
question.
Someone pegged me in the. We were playing a game with a water ball, and it skipped wrong. Bow! Hit me right in the face. Blood. I felt bad. No one could swim in the pool for the rest of the day, and it was the last day of the trip.
Dang.
But I digress. Anyway,
But, I mean,
Fire
why is
alarm
that? Isn't it
event.
chlorine? Like that's a problem.
I mean,
they have a protocol. It was a very fancy
like-
hotel, and they had a protocol.
okay, so
Apparently,
someone said, "Why was the guy going to the restroom with a 7th grade boy?" I mean, it's not like they were using the same stall.
come on, y'all.
You're digging. You're digging too
Like-
deep. He was going to the
They're at
restroom.
a concert.
He was taking him there. He wanted to make sure he was, he was his chaperone,
Yeah.
and then
I
boom,
think people-
fire alarm.
Fire alarm's crazy.
Someone just said if it was Chris Tomlin, I would too. That is a shot at poor Chris Tomlin.
I can't co-sign that. I can't co-sign that.
You guys are rude, man.
They're going crazy in the chat tonight.
All right. We are going to move on to our mailbag segment. This is where people send in questions to the show. We answer a couple during an episode to hopefully for you guys to get to know us a little bit more. If you have questions you would like to submit, questions at ygcpodcast.com. This first one is from Katia.
Katia.
Would you rather hold a lock-in or present the goldfish analogy? And let me preface, I'm pretty sure the goldfish analogy they're talking about is where the guy blended it in front of the kids. So we're having a would you rather segment a little bit early. I'm going with the goldfish, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm
I
seconding
despise lock-ins that much.
that. I'm seconding that.
Yeah. I would go goldfish.
Yeah.
Too.
Have either of you ever been involved in a lock-in?
No, but I've just learned like if a youth event goes past 9, it's already too hard.
That's true.
Let alone overnight it.
9 a.m.
Because you got to
Yeah.
stay. Someone's got to stay up all night. So
Mhm.
The closest thing I did to a lock-in was, remember when they used to do those
first of the year.
first New Year's Eve
Oh, yeah.
things?
That's a
at
pretty
the
popular
church?
date for it, yeah.
But I was like sick, but no one could bring me home, so I just slept. But that's like a close.
Was
I
it
was
supposed
never
to go all night or no?
I think was it all night or it was close to it. It was probably like till like
Early morning.
it
Early
was probably
morning,
till
yeah.
let's
Yeah,
say
probably
4
2.
a.m.
Yeah, I am
Yeah.
taking, I will give me the goldfish.
Yeah.
Give me the blender. I'm taking that 100%. No
Goldfish
lock-ins for
Thunder.
me.
Yeah.
I ain't worried about it.
Yep.
A lot of goldfish die every day.
True.
The other question is
They're also
from
invasive species.
Redeemed
They are invasive species.
2024. How old is everyone? I don't think we've ever talked about ages on this podcast.
Government
question.
All right,
I'm 26. You are, let me
What's the
guess,
same guess?
Oh, that's the same guess.
23.
Good job.
Yep. Buddy is 25.
It's my Jordan year.
Yep. And
Two,
other people on the show, I think.
Almost lost.
Yo, I actually think Cole is one of the youngest people that's been on the show.
Hey,
I
no,
think Lauren might be younger. Shaw
younger.
is my age.
she's younger. Lauren's younger.
Lauren's younger.
Like,
Who else?
Lauren was
would
like
be,
in V's group
Yeah.
when I
Who
was
else
dating
would be younger? I don't. Pastor Michael.
Mason. Mason's younger.
Is Mason younger than you?
She's
No.
older than me. She's older than me.
Only
Yeah.
like a year.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
she's older.
Oh, okay.
So most of us are pretty much like mid-20s,
Yeah.
with the
Yeah.
exception of senior pastor Dr. Michael Spencer.
Right. Or Bindi.
Mindy,
Yes.
40s, right?
No.
I'm kidding, I'm kidding, I'm kidding,
I was
I'm
about to say.
Tell her. I
He
said
looked
that.
real serious at first.
No, she would kill me.
Yeah,
But
Yeah,
she's
I would
pretty
say it
close.
was. Yeah, Lauren's probably the youngest.
She's pretty close. He said
That's
she's pretty
crazy.
close. I mean, if
She's
we were rounding,
closer to 40 than 30.
if we were rounding up,
No comments.
we would round down.
Yeah.
No, she's not. Round down.
Okay, 29.
She's not 29.
She is 29.
She's not.
All right.
She's 24.
You got our ages. We don't know what everyone else's ages are. This is from Aaron_Jag. When my uncle was a youth pastor, he decided that the quote prize for having 100 students at their youth event would be to shave his head.
Mm.
They had 102 people there that night. So they got to shave his head at the end of service. Except unfortunately for him, his hair literally never grew back.
Whoa.
The final countdown.
Yo.
Dang. They should have thrown some Bosley in there.
Yo, imagine someone shaving
Like,
their
you
head
don't know that's coming. Like,
and it never grows back.
Yeah, but I've never seen someone go from like luscious locks to completely bald like he knew.
I've seen it.
I've never seen that.
I've never seen it.
I've
They
never
said-
seen a white guy do that. Let me just preface that, like that. I could always tell when a white dude balding.
Because it's
Always.
thin.
Yeah.
It's thin,
Because you
yeah.
can't.
Yeah,
you
no,
can't
I can
comb
see.
it.
I
You
can
can't
see how.
comb
I
it
can
over.
see how if he wasn't a white guy,
He didn't know it was
that could
coming.
be
Yeah.
something. Yeah.
He said it would
like-
grow
yeah.
little stubbles here and there, but his full head of hair never came back.
Like when you look at a white
Dang.
dude, it starts going right here.
Uh-huh.
But that's
Little back here.
like that's like receding hairline. But that's like having hair and then shaving it and
Yeah,
then
like
it don't grow
gone.
back at all.
It grew back somewhere. It just didn't grow back full.
In stubbles.
He said stubbles. That was it.
Imagine
But that doesn't even make sense for bald people.
It's like it'll be back in.
But that doesn't even make sense for bald people. Like even the bald, most of the baldest
Maybe it was
people
a
I know
condition.
have,
I don't know.
have
Something
they can
rare.
grow up past stubbles.
Chat. Has anyone else
Stop the cap.
seen this? Is this
Because
a
I know bald
condition?
people who would appreciate if it never grew past stubbles. Because
Is
as long
this
as you got
something-
something, it can grow all the way.
I mean, can it? Not always.
I personally have never seen this happen. So it was a
I
surprise.
mean, yeah,
it
you're
was
right.
surprising.
There's some patches that don't grow back. That's why they go bald. But
Yeah.
like generally, you can, like there's some spots that, and people who are bald always have, like it's a curse if you're bald and can't grow facial hair.
Yeah.
That's tough. That's actually tough.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you're like Michael Jordan or something.
Why was he bald?
And he just didn't.
Yeah. Okay.
But
Listen,
he
people
didn't-
were literally being bald just because MJ.
Really? I did not
Yeah.
know that.
Like if you go look back like a lot in the,
Oh yeah,
in the
a lot of
90s,
NBA players. Yep.
like
Buzz.
if people were like high school buzz bald,
Yeah.
but it's simply because MJ.
They're like.
I'm
we're
like,
gonna-
yo, Kobe did. Rip,
I
Rip
guess.
Mamba.
It's- I'm not reading that. But yeah. The one from Matthew, 3 down from the bottom. There's 3
Oh.
up from the bottom.
Oh.
4 up.
Oh my goodness.
I'm losing it.
No, not that one. But
no.
anyway.
No, I'm like
Oh,
I don't see it.
Oh,
It's gone or
look
not?
towards the
Oh,
middle.
Dot
Yeah.
Matthew.
There you go.
Took me a minute.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Damn.
Anyway, I guess no one else has seen this before. This is a story from Cassie. Cassie said at youth
You just
group.
pee on it.
That is wild.
Nah, it's from an episode we did. And it was
Were you on that episode?
Yeah, that was I was
fun.
Yeah, I was there saying just
You
pee
and
on
Pastor
it.
Tim, right?
Yeah, we were just because that was the cure.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was like, you got a problem?
The
Just
sea
pee on
urchin.
it. Because they were like,
got stung by a
point, is
jellyfish.
They got stung, and they were like, you just pee on it.
I heard that actually
Now
doesn't
everybody
work.
says
It
it in the
doesn't,
Yeah,
chat.
they
what I'm
actually
saying,
tell you like actually don't. Do
That's
that.
what we were saying though. Is I was making a joke, and I was like, that's not everyone's fixed to everything with
Just
a
pee on
just
it.
pee on it. Pee sterile. Just pee on it.
Every time we go live, that is the solution now.
Just pee on it.
This is from Cassie. At youth group, I had a 7th grade boy come up to me and ask if we can talk. I said, of course, what's up? He responded, no, like, can we go out into the hallway and talk? Getting nervous about what he had to tell me, we stepped into the hallway. And that's when the student told me that he had been out running around all day, so his dad gave him something to protect himself. He started reaching into his book bag, and this kid pulled out a hatchet. I told him he probably shouldn't bring it back here or to school ever again.
I have something to tell you.
Bro, I have.
That's
Yo,
what the
what-
dad handed him was a hatchet.
And he was like, no.
Listen.
He was like, no, not here.
Like, where do they live? Like
Not here. Not here.
in the
Come
middle
on.
of nowhere?
I will say you could do some damage with a hatchet.
That's what I'm saying.
You
Like,
could do some
Come on,
serious
my
damage.
and what is? Why would the dad think you needed protection? Like, he just sees you
Right,
outside
that's-
playing. Listen,
Like, I'm confused.
That's what
Is
he
this
told-
like inner city you need protection, or is this like country?
Well, why would
like,
the-
why would you have a
All right,
hatchet?
first
in
off, the
the-
dad
inner
didn't. Let's
city?
get this out the way. The dad didn't give him that.
Yeah,
And if the dad did, the dad was having a coming of age moment.
no,
And
he was
like,
having.
and he was like, son, it's about that time. Like they grew up on a farm. He was like, your grandpappy gave me this. He's like, you're a man now.
Someone said the hatchet kid and the sword kid need to duel.
I was
No,
gonna
that's-
bring up the sword kid one. But imagine this kid just backs him out.
I will say the sword one
Back.
goes down as probably one of the crazier stories we've had on this show.
Yeah, that was
was wild.
Oh,
This
my
kid didn't have any ill intent though. That guy was literally going to stab someone.
No,
You
that
know what
kid-
he had.
That
He
kid
was
knew what
like,
he was
listen.
doing.
They need to meet up. Who would win?
Watch too much
Who do you
anime.
think? Sword kid's winning 100%.
Well,
Oh,
I
sword
don't
kid?
think I heard the sword kid story.
Basically a kid people hate when we recap stories. So I'm not going to say the whole thing, everybody, so stop.
Boo,
I'm just getting ahead of all the hate
Boo.
comments. Essentially, there was I'll show you this after, but there was a kid who showed up to church and like said he was going to kill the youth pastor if he couldn't be with him, and like pulled out a sword,
Yep.
and then they dropped. Yeah, I'll show it to you. You guys have probably heard
Yeah,
this one.
it was wild.
It
I
was-
feel like the crazy. Here's the thing, and you know what? If they hate it in the comments, I don't care. Here's the
Bro,
thing.
yo,
I don't care.
Bro, yo.
Yo, but it's the craziest stories get the least clout.
That's true.
And it's the only time that I've seen it really pop off was what was that one that Zay did that's got like 1 million something?
Ooh,
Was it the Bible one or something?
The
There was-
Bible nude one. That one went crazy.
that one did. It's not even our most popular, to be honest.
But that's what I mean. It's like the craziest, actually craziest. Like it's like that poop one we did a few episodes ago.
Yeah.
I'm
It
jacking
probably
it. Don't
won't-
break
yeah.
100K.
Yep.
Dang.
I
It
feel
is-
like
it
I feel like
is
they get
really
flagged or
interesting.
something. They must get flagged.
Yeah, there's like
Yeah.
a lot of factors that go
Like
into it.
poop.
I'm
Probably
sure.
like, or like, it's probably like a. I bet you what's crazy. Someone should be this. Someone should be like YGC analytics or whatever. Like they look at like
Report
what
cards.
they look at like what
stories?
category of stories gets
Sam's
the
getting
most
there.
like
He's got a
does
higher-
the most numbers.
That's pretty easy to figure out. It's anything sexual.
anything. Okay. Yeah.
Those ones go.
Yeah,
crazy.
for the
Those
most
go
part.
crazy.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Wow. Bunch
All
of
right, so you need to do.
horn dogs.
Dang, that's crazy.
For the most part, that's normally what it is.
That's actually wild.
Actually, my brother was telling me Mr. Beast said that poop ones he doesn't do because they literally see a negative dive, but some of them are just so funny that we have to share them.
Can't miss it.
Yeah, people like
Real
don't-
fans will enjoy it. The real
That's true.
fans of the show.
And
will.
that one that we shared a few episodes ago was crazy.
Yeah,
that's the
that
thing
was
about
crazy.
that's the thing
Make sure
about
you check it out.
YGC.
Mhm.
It's not just about the one hit wonders. It's about building
It's about
a
the
community.
ones, it's about the ones in between.
Right. Reach
not
out to
about-
everyone, and that's why you should join the email list today and never miss a live again.
Never miss a live event again.
YGCpodcast.com/updates. For those who haven't heard, you can be notified when we go live. And many other things, actually. We're going to be including, I guess we'll call it like email members
Yeah,
only.
come on
We'll
now.
get notifications about certain
Join
things
our
that we're doing.
Patreon.
You'll have access to
Naughty
certain
gang.
things. So, the YGC Club, whatever
Join
you
our
want to call it.
Patreon today.
Yes. we
Small
have
price of $59.
we do have a couple more stories. And if you guys have stories you want to send into the show, stories@ygcpodcast.com is where you can email them. 2 more stories. we are going to do our I don't know what to call this, but I read a couple sentences and you guys guess.
Finish the story.
Finish the story.
Finish that story.
This is from Micah. He said, on a youth group trip, our youth pastor planned a scavenger hunt throughout a 2-mile-long campsite for all the students. During the hunt, my group was looking for a clue when all of a sudden I heard a man yell for help.
Mm.
All right, they're in the middle of the woods.
Mm.
Hear a man yell for help. What do you think happened? We'll go past Cole.
Boom. Did we get the time of day?
It was light out, so probably mid-afternoon.
Mm.
Scavenger hunt, game time.
Scavenger hunt, game time, dude. Boom. Dude's outside, cutting down a tree. Swinging the axe. Boom. He either hits himself with the axe or the tree falls and somehow hurts and injures him. Or he falls out of a deer stand. I'm just throwing things out. All right, and move on.
Okay.
I'm sticking with the lumberjack one.
Buddy?
So they're playing the scavenger hunt in the woods, and then they hear a man yell for help.
Mm-hmm.
So they go and they investigate to see if they can find a man looking for help, but they can't find him. And they see a person, but it's like just a person standing there. And they go look, but it's a dead person.
Dang.
And then out of nowhere, Predator from Alien vs. Predator comes and kills them and skins them alive.
You should write these stories.
Honestly, though,
I could
one
go
last
crazy.
possibility. It's not a man. It's a blue fox, and it's screaming.
Or like a bobcat.
It's a demon.
It's some type of animal.
It's a demon.
Bear was coming
Harry
close to
Potter.
him.
It's a
Chat.
demon.
He fell in a ditch and got injured. What's Leatherface? Is that a horror movie?
Yeah.
Okay. That's why I
Chainsaw
didn't know.
Massacre.
All right. Here we go. On a youth group trip, our youth pastor planned a scavenger hunt throughout the 2-mile-long campsite for all the students. During the hunt, my group was looking for a clue when all of a sudden I heard a man yell for help. I told everyone to be quiet, and about 10 seconds later, we heard him yell for help a second time. On the side of the lake we were facing, there was a lot of tall grass and long weeds covering the marsh that led to the lake.
Creepy.
So we couldn't see anyone. We all started freaking out and asked who it was and what happened, but we never got an answer. I called our youth pastor and asked him if this was a prank. He started panicking and told me that he would never prank us like this and told me to stay where I was while help came. Eventually they came and the adults went into the tall grass of this marsh to find who had yelled. They proceeded to pull a grown man covered in mud up to his eyes. Turns out he didn't know he couldn't get to the water through the tall grass, and he tried to push his canoe through the marsh. He got stuck, started sinking, and nearly drowned.
Yo, that got to be one of the scariest
It's worse
ways
than I
to
thought.
go.
That would be, that's like sinking sand.
Imagine though, like your youth, like that is a God moment.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they saved his life.
That is
100%.
literally a God moment.
Yeah.
Like I'm looking at him right there. Like, do you know who we are? A youth group. Like, God sent us.
This is God. Accept Jesus right now. We're going to leave you.
We're putting you back.
You want my hand? You need to repent right now. You need to repent right now.
No, that's crazy.
That's wild.
Yeah, that's got to be one of the like scariest things, like about to drown.
Bro.
And then you can't move because the more you move, the sinker
Quicksand,
the
drowning.
deeper you go.
Bro,
Pause.
water. The water stuff is just like.
Yeah,
I heard it's a fast death. Like I heard it's like because you lose consciousness quick. But like I don't care. The water's creepy.
Oh yeah, I don't like water.
Mm-mm.
There are, if I had to die, there are so many other ways I would rather
Yeah.
die than drowning.
Yeah,
It
I'm
scares
good
the
on
crap out of me. Not for me.
I'm good on that.
I'm good on the water thing.
All right,
Dude,
we have
who is that
one
dude?
more story. This is from Hannah. Hannah said, on our way home from a youth group trip, I had my earbuds in for the ride home, as one does. I decided to look around to see the scenery outside, and that's when I noticed that a middle school boy who was sitting behind me in the back row of the church van had somehow managed to wrap a seatbelt around his neck. I asked him what he
It
was.
was a what? A what school?
A middle school boy.
Theories are being proven tonight.
I asked him what he was doing, and he responded with barely any breath, I don't know.
It sounds so on par, bro. So on par.
I asked him if he could untangle himself, And it was at this point that we both realized he couldn't get himself unwrapped from the seatbelt, as it would tighten further down every time he tried to loosen it. Long story short, we literally had to cut the seatbelt with a pocket knife to free this kid.
Oh my. Right.
That's the most on-brand thing I've ever heard for a middle school kid.
Yes.
Middle school boy, particularly.
Yes.
What happened? Like, he created.
How did you get into this situation? I don't know. I was just playing with the seatbelt and
This man was like,
But you know when you pull it too far and it like...
yeah. This man was like,
Yes.
this man was like,
because that's what he was probably doing. He was probably just back there fidgeting with it. And
oh,
it was
guys,
And then it locked.
He was like, you know how the seatbelt locks? Watch.
Look, guys, I bet you I can wrap this around my neck and get out of
I'm
it.
going to see your trick, a magic trick.
I bet you can't wrap that around your neck and get that. I could do that. Watch.
He seen a
And they're
girl.
probably all the kids are probably watching. Like,
He seen a girl in the other car. He was looking out the window. He was like making signs. He was like, I know what I'm gonna do. Watch. Kid is sitting there like. Kid looks back, face is blue. You good?
yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy.
I can't move.
That would be a panicking moment for me.
Yeah, that would be.
That would be scary. As funny as it, that would be freaking scary.
Too bad the seat didn't have. You ever seen the memes where it's like what to do when someone chokes you in a
And
car?
then they lean
and they're
back.
like, and then they have the electric car seat.
Oh, yeah, they're like,
This is a seventh grader, no recliner. They're like, recline the seat. He's like,
Because church fans do not
They don't.
recline. It is the worst part about riding in one is you're standing straight
you're
up for
straight.
8 hours.
they could have taken the
best
seat out.
posture.
Most vans can, you can remove the back seats if it's like a.
If the kid's suffocating, though,
Yeah.
I feel like a knife is so much quicker.
Yeah.
All right, everybody out. Every other van.
Every other van.
If you
Let's
clip that
let's
one,
remove the
if you
seat.
clipped it right there, if a kid's suffocating, a knife is still quicker. Like someone could clip that right there.
It's over.
If a kid's suffocating, I feel like a knife is much quicker. Dang.
Yeah, that's wild.
Dang, Sam. Dang.
Yeah, that's
Why'd you see after dark?
Someone said it's safer to take the seatbelts, I would assume, out.
Mm.
They said take the seatbelts
In?
in the church van. Are they saying take them out?
Confiscate them.
Is that even legal? You
No.
can drive
Can you
without.
even remove a seatbelt?
If you're over
from
six,
it?
if they're over 16, then you can be in the
Okay.
backseat without a seatbelt.
But this
In
is a
your
middle
state.
school kid.
Really?
For some, I think that's the second
I feel
time
like
heard
we
that,
pick
that
up
they
enough
did.
kids that do enough bad things that the least most illegal thing they did that day
Was no
was
seatbelts.
no seatbelt. Like middle schoolers have proven they don't get the
Wow,
privilege of
dude! Everyone in the
safety.
chat is like, "Who wears seatbelts in these youth group vans?" Maybe
That's
I'm
the
like
thing.
safety
they
first kind of
weren't
guy. I
wearing
don't know.
the seatbelt, so they were trying to do other stuff with it.
Nah,
Those in
the youth
free
pastor had
use.
a talk with him that day, and he was like, "Now listen, we're gonna take the church van, and we been given strict instructions that we must have our seatbelt on at all times."
And the kid was like, "Come on."
And this kid was like, I can't even imagine how this kid just decided this. Hey,
Just straight rebellion.
have you ever used
at
the
that point.
seat belt as like a pillow?
I've done
That's
that.
a strat that like actually worked in my life.
Seatbelt
Like,
actually
you go
pillow?
like this and you yank it and it's tight and then
Yeah,
you
and then
lean
you-
your head on it.
Now I think about it, I think I did wrap it around my neck to do that because
Yeah.
then you get the right angle.
This man Sam woke up.
I actually think I've done that.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
I don't.
This man Sam woke up.
It wasn't as close of a call, but I think thinking back, I've done that. We use ratchet. Okay, in the
What?
car.
That sounds dangerous. We ran our seatbelts broke, so we just use ratchet straps. That's kidnap.
Ella said I started watching this channel and have been laughing to tears ever since. That's what we like to hear.
Hey.
That's the goal. Literally the goal.
Literally, mission
Um,
statement. Laugh.
You should be crying at the end of every
Cry.
episode.
One way or another.
All right, we will wrap this up with our Would You Rather segment. We will pick 2 stories from this episode and then pit them against each other. The first one is from Zachary. It is, okay, you are the youth pastor in the scenario. You have a taser and you tase a kid on stage in front of the entire youth group. That is scenario 1. Scenario 2 is you shave your head and your hair does not grow back.
Taser. I'm not even thinking twice.
Yeah.
The
probably
okay, this one though, the cops are called. Like,
But you
Yeah,
got
that-
out of it. But you got
Oh yeah,
out of
but
it.
they do say that they didn't press charges.
They didn't.
That's true.
And the kid deserved
But you're
it.
known. You're the youth pastor that
And the youth
assaulted
pastor knew
child.
he deserved it too. Everyone's got that kid in their youth group.
He wanted to.
A few
He
of them.
gave him no.
Yeah. Also, he said that Taser ain't gonna do
Yeah, he
bad.
flexing.
He was asking
He flexing.
That's it.
I'm stronger than most.
Intrusive thoughts one.
On the
Essentially,
ground.
is one.
Stronger than most. And then the youth pastor gave a good story too. He was like, I didn't mean to. He was a part of the example. It was just supposed to get close to him. Next thing I know, Timmy on the ground.
So you're
Shaking.
taking. You're taking.
I'm taking the taser.
Yeah, I'm doing
No
it.
charges pressed. I get to tase the kid that's tough, that's flexing. No
That's
charges pressed.
Jeremiah
I have
says
my
he's
hair.
gonna tase the heck out of that kid.
Imagine a dude who tased him is bald.
Why?
Yeah,
He
that's-
lost
I think-
both bets.
So I said I'll go straight to jail with the taser before I lose all my hair.
It's a fact.
Man, people love their hair. I'm going to go with taser too. If I don't get in trouble for it, which he didn't say, he didn't go to jail. I guess is what we should say.
Yeah, they didn't press
Yep,
charges.
yep.
So that-
He may
that's
have
a
gotten
big-
in trouble.
That's a big.
But,
He definitely got reprimanded, but he
But
made
to
it on
go
Youth Group
bald-
Chronicles, so W.
To go from 100% hair to no hair, it's not like it was. You knew it was coming.
yeah, that's a
Yeah,
massive
that's
If that's
scary.
the case,
Yeah, that's a
that's
massive
actually
deal.
scarring.
Yeah.
because you don't even have time to prepare yourself for it. It's not even like
That's
you're
got to
like,
be a condition.
It's not even
There's
like
That's
no-
what
you're
I
like
was thinking.
It's
yeah.
got to be.
receded hairline or like
No,
you know
it's
you
gotta
get a
be. That
bald
doesn't make
spot
sense.
and you're like, you know what? All right, it's time to cut it.
Like
you
that's
know,
a condition or something because you
It's
know
like, all right, I'm about to cut it quick.
there's signs.
But it's like
I don't know. They
Fresh
didn't
head
seem to
hair.
say it was like something they thought was coming. Someone says he's shaving his head because he's not going to jail. Remember, you don't go to jail.
You don't go to jail, so you're chilling.
So we all chose taser this time, huh?
But would you do it if you didn't know if you went to jail? Yep.
Could you go to jail for that though?
For
yeah.
tasing someone,
even though they
battery, even though they asked, they didn't ask. They said, "I don't." It
They
wouldn't
provoked
hurt. It wouldn't. Come on.
Okay, that does add a
on.
whole nother variable. If
No,
you didn't know,
but yeah, if you didn't know, that's why I think the real question. Because like,
that's true.
If we knew the outcome of both of them, automatically, like, what would we do? What
I
we
would
choose?
probably go hair. My hair is already short as it is.
I don't care, bro.
You would do it with a chance of going to
There's
jail.
some things you can recover from, and some things you can't recover from. I mean, you could go to Turkey, get that hair transplant.
good.
I'm not gonna lie, I might do that option.
Nah, I'm not.
Okay.
because you can't hair transplant this here. So I'm,
Buddy said you can't hear facts.
Buddy
I'm
is
going-
going to jail.
Come
he
on,
chose
I
jail.
do love my hair though. Like I'd have to get a.
Most people are saying tasing the kid. Okay, so
and then
if,
all the bald dudes.
if
in
I
the
know
chat.
the scenario and I know I'm not going to jail, tasing the kid 100%. If I don't know, I'm going bald.
I think I'm doing taser.
I'm still.
I think I can
tasing.
rock a bald head. I think I
There's
do.
a few things you just can't get back. You can't recover from accidentally exposing yourself. You can't recover from pooping on people.
You can't recover from going bald.
You can't recover. Like it's over. Once you're bald, you're bald. Unless you put mad money into it. I mean, I've seen some people go from like 0 to hero. Like bald to like luscious locks. So hey, some people get the
You would
upgrade.
take that option.
I would do it if I knew I could get like a transplant, I would do it. I would go bald.
We really dissected this one.
We're really analytical.
We are.
You gotta
We
be.
are. Hey, we have
gotta
to be.
be. You gotta
we
be.
have to explore all the angles.
You do.
Anyway, guys, thank you so much for listening to this episode of Youth Group Chronicles. Buddy and Pastor Cole, thank you for joining us in the studio.
Yeah.
Our Instagram live audience, thank you. Again, guys, sign up for our email and text message list if you want to get notified when we go live. ygcpodcast.com/updates. And if you have a story, we are always looking for stories, so keep them coming.
Yeah.
Stories at ygcpodcast.com. Send them in, guys, and we will see all of you next week.